Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Tina and I'm the 14 count Ada girl. If you are new here, welcome for the first time. I hope you like what you see and you stick around. Hit the like, subscribe, do all the things. Today we're going to talk about whips, of course, the weekly whips, the retreat I just finished. We have a little bit of haul, and we're going to talk about traveling trips. We are in my RV. My husband and I are full-time RVers, and we will be traveling around the United States over the next few months, and we'll be going into different stitching stores, and I will be recording where allowed. So it'll be a lot of fun to be able to visit stores maybe you've not been to before. So first of all, I'd like to say again, thank you for all my subscribers. We have over 600 now. I did do a 500 subscriber giveaway. One of those have been given out. The other person contacted me yesterday, so yours is going to be coming. I will mail it out in the next couple days. And let's see, let's start with some haul, shall we? Wednesday night, I go to my cross stitch group on Wednesday nights, which I, of course, won't be going to anymore, but this was the last one. And so I picked up some things while I was there. I picked up this Mad for Plaid project bag. I'm sure we've all seen it. And of course, I got mine in pink, you know, for breast cancer survivor. So I got that. It's so Emma bag, and it's called Mad for Plaid. And you can cross stitch on it. And I do have 2 patterns that I was given by a friend to stitch on them. So I have that. I also picked up this beautiful piece of Ada in 14 count, of course. And it is a fortnight fabric, and it's called reindeer something. I can't remember what it was. It was reindeer something, but it's not written on the tag. But it's really pretty true to color right there. It's really a lovely, lovely fabric. So I picked that up, and I'd never stitched on fortnight fabric, and I think I'm gonna like it because it's not like super soft, but it's not like super rough either. And I think I'll like that one. So I also bought a grab bag. They have these at my LNS, which is Always in Stitches, in Noblesville, Indiana, and they have these every so often. And for $10, you get, how many is in here? 5 cross stitch patterns. You don't know what you're going to get until after you paid for it. But I've not had a bag that I didn't enjoy so far, and I bought, I think, 3 of them. So this is what came in my grab bag on Wednesday. I got the Be Mine, which none of these I have either, so it worked out really nicely. So there's the Be Mine by Stitching with the Housewives. Hands-on Design, Time to Gather. This one was like everybody's favorites who saw it. This is called For Freedom by The Moo the Merrier. I know Courtney, my daughter, is going to love this one. It's got a cow. She loves it. This one is called Time to Bloom. And it says, it's your time to bloom. Sorry for the glare. And then we have Santa's Bed and Breakfast. So yeah, I liked every single one. I was very happy with, and every one of them retailed for like $12.99. And I got all 5 of them for $10. So that's a really good deal. Love their grab bags. Last weekend we did on our Zoom at Crafts and Books on Facebook. We have a Zoom group. And last weekend we did the 24 hours of cross stitch, and the moderator over there is Beth. And Beth did giveaways every couple hours. And so what I won on the Zoom group was this Plum Street sampler called Falling. It's got all these beautiful fall leaves, and a little turkey over there, and the man and woman pilgrims on their little horses, and a beautiful little sunflower over here. And it's a very small video, or small chart. It's 90 by 101. So that should be a quick and easy one. Thank you again, Beth. Let's see, and that does me for haul. Yes. And for that Facebook group again, go to Facebook, go under groups, and then type in crafts and books, and then you can apply to be part of their group. And then they Zoom like 4 times a week, sometimes extra on weekends, depending on the weekend. And we had a lot of fun in that group Zooming. I didn't have any finishes this week because I was kind of busy doing other things, driving and stuff like that. So we'll get on with the whips. And this is everything I have done since last Monday. Okay, we filmed Monday, Flosstube number 7, and then I worked on Beachcomber by Carolyn Manning. I got my inspiration to do this from Jan Hicks, from Jan Hicks Creates. She was working on this when I first saw this, and I believe she lived in Hawaii back then. So that was my inspiration for this. And I put in only 120 stitches on this. So that's where I am on this one. So each one of these little half triangles are 10. So, you know, 10, 20, 30. You count them all the way across. So I did a good little section there. And so we have this next part of this row, and then I'll be about a quarter of the way done. It's a big one, and it's a full coverage. So if you've not experimented with a full coverage and you'd like to, these are really great. Because you work with a small piece of thread, you do your 10 or 20 stitches, and you move on to the next stitch. So those are really nice to start off as a full coverage. A lot of people don't even think about those being a full coverage. So that is that one. And then, so that's all I did on last Monday. I only did 120. I didn't get a lot of stitching in this week. I was just busy doing other things. So Tuesday, I did work on Our Hearts by Brenda Gervais. That's this one. And on this one, I did 163 stitches. So I put in the rest of this large flower, the stem and all the leaves. And that's what I did on that one. And this one is done on a 14 count Ada in Vintage Country Mocha. That is actually, it's called for fabric. I just happen to have it. I think it's the only project I have ever done on It's Called For Fabric. And it was just the coincidence that I had it. This one is being done in the fancy floss that it was called for. They are Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts. Yeah, there's no classic in here. So. And that is its color palette, if I can get it to twist. Beachcomber was done in DMC on just white. The next thing I worked on Tuesday was Blue Rhapsody, which I am doing in pink, so I call it Pink Rhapsody. And I'm doing this with some friends of mine at Always in Stitches. We're doing a little stitch along together. And on that day, I did 256 stitches. And this is just being done on a plain white Ada, 14 count, of course. And I worked in here and got this whole side of the butterfly is complete. This is done in 2 shades of pink. The blue is done in 2 shades. There we go. Sorry. The blue is done in 2 shades of blue. If you're interested in the pink colors, I can tell you the pinks I used. They are $33.50 and $9.62. So those are the 2 I am using. Now we move on to Wednesday. Wednesday was the day I went to my stitch group and I got the haul. And the only thing I worked on that day was the Sunflower Farm. And it's by Couer e Batacuer. I probably butchered that because I don't speak whatever that is. Probably French. This one, I got the inspiration off of this one from Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. I saw her doing this on her Flosstube, and I just had to have it because my favorite color is yellow, and I just love that little yellow house, and this little girl is so stinking cute. So I totally had to stitch her first. So here we go. And that's where I put in this entire basket. And I think this half of the table is what I put in. Nope, it was the other side of the table, I believe. One side of the table anyway. So that's what we've gotten on that one. This one is stitched on a Bestitchme fabric. And if you've not tried Brandy's Bestitchme Club, it's great. This is called Hot Cocoa. I believe this was January's fabric of the month. And it's a really nice fabric. I have been asked a lot where I get my bags, so I will put a link below where I get the bags. I get them on Amazon, and they're a really nice sturdy bag, and I get 10 for $10. They don't come in, like, you can't pick the color, you just get a rainbow of colors. I've ordered them 3 times. That's how much I like them, because I have 30 whips, and you get 10 for $10. It's a really good deal. The zippers are great quality, the fabrics great quality, and I have nothing bad to say about them. So that is those. Then on Thursday, we were driving here. Thursday we were driving here. My husband drove the RV, and we decided to not bring the trailer, and I just drove my car behind because we're going home tomorrow just for the night, and then moving on to go to Kansas. So I just drove my car up here, so we had it if we needed to go anywhere, which we did. So that day I didn't get a lot of stitching done. I started the May wreath that goes on this project here, the home. That is June in there. May is my last month to do, and then I have all year done. So that is what I got in. 113 stitches. This is just going to be daisies all the way around for the O. So once I get that done, or the wreath, it's a wreath. Once I get that done, I will be done with the complete set. And I will probably pass my, well, I know I will pass my stash. I have the complete set, minus the new one that they have just brought out. So I will pass this on. So some lucky winner will win the complete home set. Now I did mine in different colors. Like they do theirs in the black and the white. I like to change my colors. I didn't want it that dark. So I went with a Sand Ada by Charles Craft that I just picked up at a Walmart. I think I bought 6 or 7 things of it. And then I could get like 2 on each one. And so those are done. That's what that's done on. 14 count. Charles Craft in Sand. And then when needed, I would change a color here and there. Like I like the turquoise, so I did turquoise for the letters. You know, pick what color you like. Don't be afraid to change a pattern. Friday was the day we started our retreat here. Always in Stitches, my LNS, put on a retreat here in Shipshewana, Indiana. And we had, I think, 59 or 60 people that actually came. A lot of quilters. We had some knitters. We had some cross stitchers. Just a whole group full of wonderful, wonderful ladies. I do have a small video I will put at the end of this. I just did a panoramic of everyone there. I didn't go into everyone's projects and stuff. I probably should have, but I didn't. So maybe next time. So my friend and I had bought, or she had bought, my friend Arena, she had accidentally bought 2 of this pattern. And so she had given me one, and we decided to take it to retreat and start it on retreat. It is Spring Quaker by Leela Studios. Oh, that glare is so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm covered in windows in here. Just surrounded by them. Yeah, that's not much better, is it? So next time I'll remember and take that out. So we worked on this all weekend, but there was lots of chatting going on and visiting, and so we didn't get a lot done on it. On Friday, I got 191 stitches on it. On Saturday, I did 250 stitches on it, and Sunday, I did 243 stitches on it. So that leaves us here. And I also would like to say my friend Rena is doing it in the fancy floss that is required. However, I'm doing it in the DMC that is provided on the back. In case you don't do the fancy floss, it has a DMC equivalent over here. And when I went to pull out one of the colors, I thought it looked completely incorrect. So I asked Rena to show me what the Classic Colorworks was for it. And the color that I had was like almost a maroon color, and it should have been closer to a red color, which is this little red heart here. And so I brought her Classic Colorworks, the 2 that I had that I looked at that were completely different than what the conversion was. And I brought them back to my RV that night, and I went through my DMC book, and I found the 2 that was closest to it. So if you're going to do this in a DMC conversion and you want it as close to the colors, Blue Beatrice will be 159. Cherry Cobbler will be 3777. The 2 colors that they have for them, the Blue Beatrice is like a gray color. The color they have for it, it's like gray. And then, like I said, the Cherry Cobbler was almost like a maroon color. So it was those 2. Everything else was great. They were converted great. But those 2 weren't even close in my opinion. So I don't think I have any kind of a old floss. I even Googled them, and they were correct. So I don't know. But that's the information I have in case you want that. What day are we on? Saturday. Okay, so that was Friday, part of Saturday and Sunday. But on Saturday, I worked on 100 owls. I threw in another owl. So I put in this lovely little owl right here. So 100 owls got 94 stitches. I tried for 100, but there just wasn't 100 in that, and I wasn't going to do 6 more on another owl. And this is what he looks like so far. This is by Owl Forest Embroidery. It is a free pattern. you can go to alforceembroidery.co.uk, go under their freebies, and they have lots of freebies, and it is in their freebie line. I am doing this on a Mystic Gray from 123 Stitch. I have 35 owls to go. I counted today, so getting closer. And that's what it's going to look like when it is completely done. Now they did it on a greenish color. Like I said, I did mine on Confederate. It was called Confederate Gray, but now they call it Mystic Gray, if you're looking for it on 123 Stitch. And of course it's on 14 count. Okay, the last thing, here's our two. Yeah, the last thing I worked on was Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. Oh, I have to unzip that one. This one here. And I worked on the house. Since I was visiting with everybody, I wanted to do something easy. And so I put in that last window and all the paint around it. This window right here. And this is what it looks like so far. She is slated for a finish for this year, since she doesn't have that much more to go. As she is done on a 14 count ivory. I am using NPI silks on this one. I had never used silks before, and so this one called for the NPI silks, and I decided to do it. It was very expensive because it is a very large project on 14 count. So if you can afford it, I'd say go for it, because it looks really, really good, and silk is just great to work with. It really, really is. Okay, now that is the whips for the week. For the retreat, like I said, I drove my car up here, so we had it. Thursday, we basically just set up the RV. We drove around a little bit, checked out Shipshewana a little bit, and some of the surrounding little towns. Not lots of Amish buggies and stuff. That's pretty cool to see. We just, on Thursday, we went to Walmart. We had to pick up a few things that we didn't pick up before we left. We went to dinner at Taco Bell. And then the next day, we started the retreat. It started at 1 o'clock. And they did some drawings during the retreat, and if your name was called, then you would win a prize, which was really neat. We didn't have a specific designer there or nothing like that, but that wasn't a big deal to me, because you know that kept prices down. I mean, our retreat was $35 and your hotel room, but we brought an RV, so it was our RV expense at the RV park. So I thought that was the better way to go, in my opinion, personally, because I don't have $500, $1,000 to spend at retreats. So Friday night, we had a pizza party and a get to know you party. They passed out a deck of cards, and everybody got one card. And they said, anybody who's got a 2, stand up and tell us about yourself. So it was like a little icebreaker meet and greet, and that was pretty cool. So we did that on Friday at the pizza party, and we did eat the pizza in a different room, so we didn't get anything on our projects. On Saturday, some of our table, I knew most of the people at my table because Always in Stitches is my LNS, so I sat with friends. And we went to dinner at Das Austin House, and they have a nice big buffet there. And we went there and ate. My husband went with us, and we all enjoyed everything we ate. It was a really good experience. And then on Sunday yesterday, as a goodbye. A couple of us, not all of us, but a couple of us were still here on Sunday. So we went to the Wedgwood Brewing Company, and we have really good burgers there. They're pretty much the only place open on Sunday, so that's why we ended up going there and doing our hugs and saying goodbye and all of that. Two of our table mates had already left. They both texted me yesterday and said they had both made it home fine, so I feel better about that. On Saturday, we also walked over from the hotel where we're at to a store called Yoder's, and it was like this huge fabric store. So if you were into quilting and sewing and things like that, it was a dream, I'm sure. I was completely lost. I don't know anything about fabric and sewing and quilting, but I looked at everything and everything was really pretty. We also had the Quilters Guild of Indianapolis in the room next door to us. So that one of the ladies from over there came over into our room and asked us if we wanted to do a show and tell. So some of our ladies went over and did a show and tell over there, and the ladies over there showed all the things that they were making or had finished or things in progress, and that was really, really cool. So we've done that. And that pretty much concludes my weekend here. I'm here just for this evening. Like I said, tomorrow we will be driving home just for the day, putting the car and the motorcycle on, grabbing our bicycles, going to dinner with family one last time. And then Wednesday we'll be driving towards Kansas. Thursday we should arrive in Kansas, and we'll be there for 16 days. And then I'll let you know what we're doing after that in future videos. So, the only other thing I have to talk about today is WIPGO. My WIPGO draws for this month were We the People by Erica Michaels. It's the preamble to the Constitution. And this is where I am on it. And on my WIPGO board, I said that I needed to finish this line. Well, I've already finished this line because I touch everything once a month, and I made it to that point anyway. So now I'm going to finish. That was line 4. So I put down that I'm going to go to line 5 or 6, So we'll see. We'll see how far I get with it. And the other project that I have for WIPGO this month is the Our Hearts by Brenda Gervais, which I showed earlier with the big flower. So I want to put 800 stitches into that one this month. And that about concludes today's video. Yeah, so as always, I would like to say, please get your mammograms. I know I say it every week, but I'm going to continue to say it. There may be new viewers who don't know. I did have breast cancer in 2019, and it was caught on a mammogram. Mammograms are very, very important. 1 in 8 women get breast cancer every year. So it is very, very important to get those mammograms. And as always, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Oh, I bet. There's 2. Who's the worst in the face? Oh, yeah, by far. Who's the worst in the face?